Certainly, when you travel around, you want to make sure you find the right place to go. And there's a new list out of A-rated. This is nationwide, not just in California, but we'll focus on the California ones. A-rated places to camp and bring your rig. GuestRated.com has those ratings, and Bob MacKinnon with Guest Rated joins us right now. Hey, Bob.
Hey, good morning. How is everybody?
Fantastic. And we've got some nice December California camping weather right now. Where should people head? And how do you put these ratings together? Is it sort of like how AAA does it for hotels?
Well, actually, I probably compare us more to TripAdvisor, and people are familiar with that. We're sort of the TripAdvisor for the campground industry.
That's funny. We have TripAdvisor coming on next segment.
Oh, hey.
Right, so it's a good...
I'm glad I could segue for you.
I love it, yes. So people, just like with TripAdvisor, say, hey, I stayed at this place, the water facilities were great, the noise from the freeway was bad, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, what we started out as, about 4 or 5 years ago, was to try to create a detailed satisfaction survey for the campground industry. Nobody really was providing that, and it was kind of hit and miss out there for the campers. So we actually have a very detailed questionnaire, much more so than TripAdvisor, and it's designed both to help the camper decide where to go and how other campers have rated their experience, but it provides also some really detailed operational feedback for the campgrounds to help raise the bar for their services and facilities, and it's proving to be quite popular.
You know, Bob, I was out near Port San Luis at Avila Beach, and that's a popular spot, even popular with Randall White.
Yeah, well, it's a 10-mile drive from my house, and I feel like I'm completely getting away.
But you're a world away. It's such a great place. So what was interesting is I was getting some video out there, and there were a couple of RVs that were kind of maneuvering in and out of some spots, and it was like a handoff, a baton pass for this prime spot that these people have identified. And one of the gentlemen said, I really don't want to be interviewed for your news program because we do not want people to know about this pristine, beautiful location. Right. So really being in the know, I think, could really make a difference in your vacation experience, right?
Well, that's what we try to provide, is an opportunity for campers to pass along their little tips and stories that they've learned along the road. And I mean, obviously, somebody will want to keep their secret spot secret, but we, in the 8 parks that received the awards this year in California, there's really a terrific diversity. Actually, the list includes a park very near where you're referring to, down in Pismo Beach.
Oh, right.
Right on the coast. Pismo Coast Village has been a winner 3 out of the last 5 years.
I've heard that that's a good place to go. I haven't brought the RV there yet to that location, but I've heard good stuff about it.
Yeah, but we also have, about half of the list are highly developed, what you would probably term, RV resort type facilities. But we've also got, rustic camping up in the Sierras, up above Shaver Lake. It's a great little spot called Wishon Village that has won 2 years in a row now, and they offer tent camping and much more of a mountain camping kind of an experience. So, really quite a diversity of what campers are reviewing today.
Hey, Bob, I'm wondering if a park needs to be, or a campground needs to be privately owned in order to be part of the rating service, or if it can be a state or a federal campground. Like you have the Forest Service sites, and then you have something, say, like Yosemite National Park.
Oh, sure. Great question, Randall. We really started out under contract to the National Association of RV Parks and Campgrounds, which probably 95% of their members are privately owned and operated. Some of them are actually concessionaires for public lands. But over the past few years, we've gotten more and more parks involved in the public agencies. In fact, 2 of our winners this year were state parks in South Dakota.
Really?
Good
for them.
There's really no restriction. The campers can go on to the GuestRated.com website. We also distribute to other websites. In fact, one of our largest is camping.com. And they can search for a park that they're interested in or an area. And the icons will pop up on the screen. And they can see what other campers have said about them, and they can leave a review. Many parks will promote the feedback just as if you went to a hotel and they offer you an online comment opportunity.
You see more and
many of
more
our reviews come in that way.
You see more and more hotels that have the little TripAdvisor box in the corner showing the most recent comments, regarding their location, and so they're starting to do that with guest rated now for the campgrounds, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, our partner site, camping.com, has actually put that on their homepage. They have the top-rated campgrounds and most recent reviews that are linked out to the individual pages for parks. So it's a lot more user-friendly for people to find all they want to know in one place and be able to see how other campers have reviewed their experience. We're getting lots of great positive feedback on it.
Bob, how specific, once you get to so let's say we know that, let's use Yosemite as an example. We know that the Upper Pines campground is a top destination. But, there's maybe 120 sites within the Upper Pines, but only 2 or 3 of them are sort of, kind of isolated, and you can walk down to the Merced River or, whatever it might be. Is that information you can find on your site? Which spots within a highly rated campground are desirable?
Well, it depends on how detailed our campers, supply information on their experiences. But many of them do refer to the specific campsite or a specific view in the comments that they submit. And, of course, then they rate the overall campground on a report card scale. They give it A through F in key categories like their overall experience or the quality of the campsite and facilities, the cleanliness of the restrooms, which is always very important. So those are the key rating factors that are published right online.
And Bob, it probably depends too, I would imagine, strategically, like on time of year, what events might be happening in the area. Is this a campground where you really need to think ahead and sign up early? I'm sure all those factors must come into play.
Yeah, it is just like other review sites. The opportunities there for the camper to share in their own words, and that's what we encourage them to do, is give tips to other campers about their visit, things to do and see, and help other campers enhance their future visit.
So your newest listing, you have, I imagine, do you give any of the places like F ratings or
any bad
grades?
Well,
actually, we don't give anybody any ratings. It's the camper.
Oh, right.
But yes, it's true. Some campers might not have a good experience, and I'll be honest with you, the ones that made our A grade award, if I flip through their reviews for the year, I could probably find a D or an F in every one of them.
Oh, okay.
So, nobody's perfect, and we believe that the reviews should be transparent, and you should see the happy guests as well as the ones who did not have a good experience.
Now, throughout the United States, how many campgrounds received an A level?
This year, 42 out of about 4,000 that received reviews. So it was a little over 1% received the top grade.
And of those 42, how many were in California?
8 of them, about
8?
20% of them.
That's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Very much so. California is the number one camping and RVing state in the U.S., and so it's not surprising that they have such a high number. The other thing I ought to mention, we think the credibility in the award is really important for the campers, that they know that this is just not based on 1 or 2 guest comments, but we have a minimum of 100 reviews that a campground must receive during a year's period of time, and we only keep those reviews in the database for that 365 days. So you may find some comments, back a year or 2 from previous campers, but the grade that the campground receives is only based on current data, and it's based on a minimum sample of 100. So
that's great.
The parks on our list, the California parks, I think the smallest park received a little over 100 reviews, but the largest received almost over 1,300.
So you can really get a good sample.
A lot of information out there.
Because, Bob, we only have a few seconds left here, but I want to comment on that. Sometimes I've seen poorly rated or really highly rated things on Yelp, for instance, and then I see they have 3 reviews, and 2 are from the owners. So when you've got a campground that has 1,300 reviews, you have a pretty good sense of of where they're,
Well,
a better idea.
1300 and an A grade both.
Right.
That's very
Exactly.
Sounds reliable.
Bob MacKinnon, it's guestrated.com. More information at eatdrinkexplore.com under today's program summary. Bob, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And Guest Rated is the TripAdvisor for campgrounds. We're going to the TripAdvisor in the next segment to find out where the top 10 destinations are in the United States for 2013. You'll be in the know if you stick around.